Today I'm going to be showing you how you can get this very moody red dark theme effect for your Instagram pictures. This is the original picture. The moment you add that kind of depth and effect to it, see, if you look at this picture, what I've done to this picture, just look, it's changed completely. The entire perspective of this image has changed. The moodiness, the darkness, the red vibes. Let me show you how you can do it, okay? With this picture, I'm gonna show you how you can do it. This is the original picture, okay? And this is the final product. First thing you have to do when you're actually editing for Instagram, just go to crop filter, aspect here, as you can see aspect, and go to 4:5. This is the aspect ratio for Instagram. I'm gonna go here and increase this fade thing. I understand it looks very bad right now, so don't be crazy about it. After you do that, just get this to this point, okay? This looks good, okay? You get the fade and you get the little bit of depth and darkness in the image already. But right after you've done that, what I want you to do is, I want you to go to this color section here, okay? And always remember what are the colors playing in your image. Right now, a couple of blues here, and most probably this burgundy, and my skin tone and this like almost are same. So I have to be very careful. There are a bit of yellows here. So this yellow. So first we'll go to the red color. I think my t-shirt is of red, as you can see, but I don't want it to be too poppy in this image. I can make it poppy, but I don't want it because I don't want my t-shirt to be the main part of the thing. So I'm gonna decrease the hue a little bit and increase the luminance, because it's one of the most important parts of my image, regardless I want it or not. So I want it to be a little bit brighter, because we're gonna remember this: whatever you want as the main parts of the image, increase the luminance a little bit, because the end image is going to be a little bit dark, okay? So you want your main parts of the image to be a little bit on the brighter side, okay? Now we're going to go to orange. This is the most important part, because this is your skin, my skin at least. So I'm gonna make the luminance a little bit less, hue a little bit less, and then desaturate it a little bit and increase the luminance. Not so much, just a little. We can adjust it later as we do the editing. So this part, simply you have to decrease the hue to -100 and desaturate it, okay, like so. Okay, we'll leave it about there, and luminance little bit, just a little bit more desaturation, okay? And now we're gonna go to greens, blues, every other color is just not needed. We don't need the green, we don't need this green, we don't need this blue, we don't need this either, any one of them. We don't need any one of them. So we're almost close. Now the main parts are over. This I think everyone is familiar with. Now we have to increase the exposure here. Let me tell you something. Before you do that, go to this option here, okay, post crop vigneting, and then when you're here, I want you to slightly decrease this part, okay? Not too much, just a little bit. You can do it too much, but don't make it obvious, okay? Just a little bit is good, about there. And then come to dehaze. This, what this does, it removes all the I'll show you. It's better you see, right? So look at this, it makes it a little bit more darker, as you can see. Don't make it too much, because I'll tell you why, okay? That much. good enough, right? The image looks good already. We have already set that British vibe-ish black themes. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to this exposure section, and I'm gonna increase the exposure here. Okay, don't worry about it. Increase the contrast. Okay, not so much about here, don't worry about it. Now decreasing the highlights, decreasing the shadows, decreasing the whites, because there's so much whites in here. And blacks, I can increase it, I'd like to increase it, but here in this case decreasing is the better option. Okay, now go to vibrance, increase a bit of vibrance here, make this picture a little bit more red, and then you can increase the clarity, even though I would not suggest you to, because it makes it more like sharp and shit. But here we're gonna do it a little bit, just a little bit. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slightly decrease the contrast, the exposure here, to see what fits this image. Okay, so contrast up a little bit, the blacks down a little bit, or to that. Yeah, that looks good. So here we can either increase the exposure or decrease it. So if I decrease the exposure, what happens is it's getting darker and darker. So what I would do is actually go back to this highlight priority, to dehaze, and actually kind of decrease the dehaze a little bit here. Okay, up to a little bit like this. Looks good. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the highlights, the exposure. Now put it down a little bit. Contrast too much, a little bit less contrast. Good. Now as you can see, this image has got that red, that moody vibe. Now this is not done yet here. I mean, it looks good already, but for me, what I feel like is it has a little bit too much exposure. For me, I like it a little bit more dark and themey, but you know, like this, I like it like that. But what I can do is just about a little bit, I can decrease that, and if I want it, then I can actually make my surroundings even more darker.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to know how to take this picture to the next level, then make sure you watch the second part of the video, in which I reveal all the secrets and all the secret ingredients that you need to just make that picture pop on every one of those Instagram users that you've been looking for. Yes, I'm not lying. You will know it yourself. A simple example. Look at this picture. Normal. Yes. Look at it now. Oh my God. No. Subscribe.